Welcome to this presentation about WISON technology by ROHM Semiconductor. WISON technology is a real game changing on how we build cities, buildings, and residences, essentially changing the infrastructure we live in today. Hi, I am Karen Reyes, an applications engineer at ROHM Semiconductor USA, the technical leader on WISON technologies, and today I am happy to present WISON Innovation for Smart Solutions. The agenda for today will focus on 5 main topics. What is WISON? What is the WISON Alliance? WISON Operating Specifications and Topology, ROHM WISON Module BP35C5, and WISON Implementation. In other words, what does this look like deployed in the field? WISON is an acronym for Wireless Smart Utility Network. WISON was recently established by WISON Alliance in 2013. It is based on IEEE 802.15.4G, which is a wireless standard specification for smart utility networks. WISON is suitable for worldwide implementations and it is good for an extensive range of applications. The main features are long communication distance, good bendability, meaning that it is able to communicate around obstacles, large number of frequency channels, and low power consumption. Now, let's talk about what is WISON Alliance. The WISON Alliance is a global organization seeking to accelerate the implementation of open standards-based field area networks and Internet of Things. The goal of the Alliance is to create interoperable products, reliable communication, and secure networks. The WISON Alliance provides a robust certification program to ensure interoperability between equipment from different vendors intended for use in the same application. As well, the WISON Alliance enables a diverse ecosystem of solution providers, including product vendors, silicon vendors, cities, utilities, government institutions, and academia to collaborate on smart solutions. Let's talk about the WISON operating specification. You can see the table which has a list of standards organized in rows and communication protocols organized in columns. WISON has significant advantage over other communication protocols such as no direct services are needed, worldwide standards, fast data rates, and hopping capabilities. Now, let's take a close look to the other graph on the right. The horizontal axis is the communication distance, and the vertical axis is the communication speed. WISON operates at around 100 kilobytes per second at 1 kilometer, which is right in the middle of Wi-Fi and LoRa. It is the most widely used radio in IoT because of its well-balanced specifications. Like Wi-Fi, WISON is organized by standardization, which allows products to be interoperable. This interoperability ensures WISON to work great for large-scale networks, and the hopping capability allows connections even in places with many obstacles. WISON technology has a wide variety of applications, including smart utilities, smart cities, smart homes, and machine-to-machine communication. Let's dive into more details. In the smart utility area, the target applications are advanced metering infrastructure and smart metering. In the smart city area, WISON can support street lighting, environmental sensing, traffic and transport systems, while at home, WISON supports smart thermostats, air conditioners, heating systems, and energy usage displays. WISON networks are usually configured on mesh network topology. In a mesh system, devices communicate with neighboring devices on their network, all of which can serve as conduits to the network base station, also known as border router, as shown in this image. This allows for multiple redundant connection paths, so unlike star-based networks, single points of failure and blind spots are dramatically reduced. In fact, as devices are added to the mesh reliability and performance improves because the possible communication paths multiply. WISON mesh networks are self-forming, it automatically finds peers to communicate with, and it is self-healing. If obstacles emerge, devices will automatically reroute to the nearest available peer, reconnecting to the mesh. Now we will move into WISON applications. To start, WISON has been installed in more than 50 million smart meters in Japan. The plan is to complete the installation of more than 80 million units by 2024. In addition, the WISON Alliance reports that more than 100 million units has been installed worldwide. Another WISON implementation also is by Korea Electric Power Company. which was embarking on a digital IoT transformation that helped facilitate the transition from an energy provider to an energy platform and service company. This evolution involved complementing their infrastructure with 30 million smart meters and deploy an additional billion IoT nodes across their vast grid. They also have chosen Wi-Fi as their main communication technology to lead this innovative idea. Lastly, the City of London is excited to share the progress they have made with their street light upgrade project. With increasing demand and modernization, they realized that they need a technology that will propel into their future with a system that was good for the next 30 plus years. Why did they choose Wi-Fi? Some of the reasons are self-healing mesh network properties, which lead to a lower maintenance cost, space limitations with lots of buildings, needed flexibility to hop and communicate to a variety of nodes. Last but not least, scalability. If you are interested to learn more, please read and watch the video from Giles Radford for the City of London project. Now that we have learned about Wi-Fi technology and its implementation, let's talk about ROHM Semiconductor solution for Wi-Fi applications. This is the BP35C5 module, which comes with a built-in Wi-Fi fan software stack, reducing design development efforts. The BP35C5 is Wi-Fi certified and Radio Lab certified by the Radio Act of Japan and the US. Therefore, it can be used immediately. The BP35C5 comes in a module that is shielded for RF signals, making it more reliable and minimizing loss of communication. It can connect up to 100 devices using only BP35C5 modules, increasing the coverage distance. It is very good obstacle resistant, provides fast communication supporting selectable speed of 50 kilobytes per second, 150 kilobytes per second, and 300 kilobytes per second. Additionally, there is no monthly running cost for the services. Another reason we are proud of this product because it is truly easy to implement. We took the tough work writing Wi-Fi fan software and integrate this into our module solution. Of course, all of this follows the Wi-Fi Alliance IEEE 802.15.4G, so connecting into the network is a breeze. It already handles features such as frequency hopping, discovery joining, which are self-forming and self-healing properties, and security identification management. The Wi-Fi fan embedded software includes from the physical to the MAC layer. In addition, the top layer is an API, which controls can be done using simple commands via UART. When we look at Wi-Fi semiconductor suppliers, we are happy to share that our solution is really one of a kind. The main item being our module is drop-in capable and easy to use because of the complete high-frequency design, radio law certification, and embedded software stack. In addition, the BP35C5 module has the Wi-Fi Alliance certification, and it has been adopted as the testbed unit for the Wi-Fi Alliance to test new devices. To better simplify, we have created an evaluation board. With this board and a notebook PC, you can send radio waves and set up a small network to simulate how the communication works between nodes. Also available at ROHM.com, it is an extensive list of designs resources to help customers progress smoothly with development. Resources such as a list of antennas that work with the BP35C5 Wi-Fi module, evaluation board user guide, and sample scripts so customer can automate testing. In only a few minutes, you will have a simple way to check the communication distance, signal strength, package error rate, and others. To understand the self-forming routing and self-healing function with a minimal configuration, let's build a small mesh network consisting of one border router and 3 routers. Each border router and routers will have a pair of compatible antennas and USB connector to a computer. Next, we will need a sample script. This sample script can be downloaded from ROHM Wi-Fi Design Resources page. The script needs to be edited to match the MAC addresses of every BP35C5 kit. And we are ready to start creating and testing our first Wi-Fi network. First, open for connections on TeraTerm and assign each to one BP35C5 kit. To obtain more detailed information, you can refer to the startup manual at rohm.com. On the first window, we will click first on File, New Connection, then select Serial Communication and the communication port, to finally press OK. Then connect router 2, 3, and 4 to repeat the same process as seen on the screen. And setting up is completed. Next, we will configure the port. Select Settings, Terminal. Select CR and CR for the line codes, then press OK. Now select Settings, Serial Port, then set the baud rate and data width, and press New Settings. Do this for border router, router 2, 3, and 4, and do not forget to make sure that local echo is unchecked on the terminal setup. Now, let's run the downloaded scripts in order. Here ROHM has the ability to execute scripts. We will go over the execution method. On each terminal window, select Control, Macro, specify the script file for that terminal, then execute. When the script is executed, the settings are automatically saved and restarted, and all the terminals will establish connection after about 2 minutes. When the routers are connected, a join state message will be output. This message indicates that the fan connection status has changed. The connection status is represented by a number. The number 5 state indicates that connection communication is possible. We will wait for a bit until routers reach state number 5. You can see in the screen that router 2 and router 3 have reached state 5. Now we will wait a bit for router 4. On the screen, you can finally see that router 4 reached state number 5, as well as router 3 and 2. Once you have confirmed that all routers are connected, the next step is to look at the routing information. To see this, run the rplsr command on the border router. This shows that router 3 and router 2 are connected to the border router, and router 4 is connected to router 3. The connections currently look like the schematic on the right. Therefore, we have demonstrated the self-forming capability of Wi-Zone technology. Next, we will ping router 4 from the border router to verify that communication is possible. If communication is successful, the border router will output 0% lost, and router 4 outputs RCVD echo request as shown on window 4. Let's now test the self-healing function. We can observe that the current communication path is router 4 to router 3, then border router. But in this case, if router 3 is blocked, the path automatically switches to router 2 and communication resumes. So let's block the route to router 3. For the sake of clarity, on the screen, the reset command is used on router 3 to restart and shut off, simulating a failure on router 3. Once this anomaly happens, the self-healing function enters in place, and after waiting for a bit, the route will automatically be updated and communication will resume. We will wait for a bit so the self-healing capability can take place. Once the route has been updated, the border router and router 4 will display updated information about RPM. The route will be as shown on the right, router 4, then going to router 2 to finally get to border router. If you use the rplsr command at this time to check the routing information, it will indicate router 4 connected via router 2. Now we can ping again to see if communication is possible. From this, you can understand how the route was automatically switched and the line restored. This concludes the setup for the BP35C5 kit, providing testing of the functions and how easy can be obtained reliable communication. Now, if you are ready to start developing WISE-on technology, check the BP35C5 page by scanning this QR code, where you can find all resources to start your next project. Don't forget that the BP35C5 and the evaluation board are available through any of the electronic distributors. And if you need help with next steps, please let us know, and we will be happy to assist. Thank you for attending this webinar, WISE-on Innovation for Smart Solutions by ROHM Semiconductors.
Thank you, Karen. We would like to open it up now for the Q&A. Again, please drop any questions into the Q&A box below. Give just a minute here to get some questions going. Okay, let's start with this one. Karen, why do the modules have 2 antennas? And will it work with only one?
Hi, Heik. Thank you for the question. I think this is a great question. The BP35C5, as you can see on the pictures presented, they have 2 antennas. And the reason why is because it comes with an embedded feature called antenna diversity. And what this feature does is that for mobile applications especially, it checks for the strongest signal. So it will check first in either of antenna 1 or antenna 2, and then it will select the strongest before every communication. This is very useful, as I mentioned, for mobile applications, but also if user only decides to use only one single antenna, then it can be selected thanks to our embedded software stack, only using one command. It will allow us to tell the BP35C5 which antenna we are going to be using. Therefore, we can reduce power consumption because we won't be wasting power checking which antenna is the strongest. And second of all, we can avoid costs on providing or populating a second antenna.
Okay, let's see. We want strong support from WISE-on in India market as the smart meter is penetrating and going to be huge in the next 3 years.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is more of a comment, and
yes.
We are definitely improving our coverage, especially with the certification program. We do have a pilot road to cover the whole wide world, and we are able to provide some help for India as well. If you have more interest about our solution, we definitely can provide. And we can provide not only the BP35C5, but we can work towards the certification so it can be implemented in India and any other country that may be of interest.
Okay, another question. How about the management system when you have more than one board?
That's actually absolutely a great question. The BP35C5 can be, it's able and capable to manage up to 100 devices of the same BP35C5 working as a border router. We also can provide a support up to 1,000 units, but this one will have to use a Linux device for the border router. If the external border router, as I mentioned, in Linux operating system is needed, then we will happy to provide our partners that can provide this kind of support. So it's not that if you need more devices to be installed, like 1,000 of them, we won't leave you alone. We'll have all of that information to provide.
Are you working in YSON 1.1?
Currently, we are working, and the solution that we have provided is YSON FAN 1.0. But we do have plans to do FAN 1.1. Actually, we are in development, and our first modules will be ready to be deployed on the first quarter of 2023. That will be around April. So if you are interested, once again, to that solution, we are able to provide samples and help you with the development.
Okay. How is the global supply shortage impacting the YSON? Is the issue on supply side, or is it okay for you as well? Also, sorry.
Actually, for the YSON module, we don't have any shortage on supply. We are able to provide all the quantities that we have been requesting so far. So as of now, we are not facing the shortage. Let's cross the fingers so we don't get impacted in the future either.
Okay. Here's another question. Will radio frequency certification be needed to deploy your YSON product?
Absolutely, it's a great question, this one. And no, no extra certification will be needed for the BP35C5. We provide 2 certifications for our module. The first one is the YSON Alliance certification, and the second one is the radio frequency certification. The certification for the radio frequency, we do have it for Japan, and the FCC for the United States. Of course, if extra certification is needed for other countries, as we talked before, we will help our customers to get it. So we are in the path of getting more certifications for other countries, and so it wouldn't be a problem for us.
Okay. How is the transmission power selected on the modules?
The BP35C5, as mentioned in the presentation, it has a built-in software stack. This software stack helps us to implement the selection of the power transmission. It can be selected from 50 kilobytes per second, 150 kilobytes per second, and 300 kilobytes per second. And it is all by just typing in a command and then saving the change. And that's all that you need. So it's very easy to implement and user-friendly, of course.
Okay. Do YSON have solutions for wearables too?
This is absolutely a great question. Wearables are based on battery power devices. So our YSON solutions, thanks to the software stack that is built in, we have the capability of doing a sleep mode. The sleep mode will allow us to, of course, put the device into sleep, and the power consumption will be decreased tremendously to 13 microamps. Of course, this will increase the life of the battery, and this will increase and it will reduce cost. So definitely wearables and battery operated systems is a target for us with our solution.
Okay. Any code or use case already in service that could be shared or ordered?
For the BP35C5 in our website, ROHM.com, we offer, as mentioned, some macros that have been already wrote. So it's just the process to automate. The software that it comes embedded, it is all very user-friendly. And we do provide the list of commands that it can be used. And the macros that are online, as I mentioned, they are all with the startup process. So you can download it for free in our website if you want to start testing our modules.
Okay, great. Is this module applicable for battery powered devices?
Yes, so as I mentioned before with the wearables question, the BP35C5, thanks to the built-in software stack, can be put into a sleep mode, which reduces the battery consumption and the power consumption as well. So yes, battery devices is one of our targets.
Okay. We have a question about the presentation material. The presentation will be available on the on-demand landing page after the webinar.
Yes, in our landing page will be the presentation and also all the material that you will need to contact us, as well as the PowerPoint.
How is the support process as a post-sale?
Very great question. So currently we have two different teams. One is located in Japan for Wisont, and the other one is here in the United States, located in the Americas. The support that we provide is all including testings, any questions that you may have. Even we can travel to your location. And just for the sake, we do have support in Spanish and in English for Wisont. So it is very, we do the following up very nicely, and any questions that you may have, we can support. So.
Okay, we have time for a few more questions. If anyone has any additional questions, please drop them in the Q&A.
Just to add a little bit more in the last question about the post-sale, just came to my mind that we do support not only the phase of the prototyping, but also when it is deployed on the field. So if you have questions or you have some issues, we are always happy to assist and to help debugging and things like that.
Okay. Looks like questions have been answered. Again, the presentation will be available on the on-demand landing page after this webinar. And Karen, you have a few words.
Yes, I just want to thank you everyone for attending to today's Wisont presentation. As well, I want to thank you for the great questions that we had today. And do not hesitate to contact us through our communication channels, ron.com on the landing page. We are always happy to assist you with your applications, and we're happy to provide samples or any help that you will need with. Thank you.